Okay, so this is an overall assessment of everything we've covered with regular verbs in the present tense. We'll kind of go through these one by one, and I'll do them with you. Go ahead and pause the recording if you need more time to do one, or you need to draw out a chart or something like that. Go ahead and pause it and take the time to do that. So the first one, we're conjugating the verb in parentheses. So for this sentence, they already give us the subject. We don't have to look for it. It's right here, yo. Now the verb is in parentheses, comer, and we know it's in the infinitive because it ends in er. Remember, it's in the infinitive if it ends in er, ar, ir, right? So if we don't know what it means, that's okay. But we do know what comer means because you've used it a few times already. Comer is to eat, so yo. And then we have to figure out what form of comer, los huevos para el almuerzo, eggs for lunch. Okay, so let's go through our endings. So it's er. Okay, so I have to go through my checklist. Er and ir have about the same endings, but I also know that the yo form has the same ending in all three. So this one should be fairly simple. So what is the yo form of comer? So remember that the yo form in all of the forms is going to be easy to remember because it ends in o, and our ending is o, right? So our verb was comer. We dropped our ending, so we have com, and now we add our o. So yo como los huevos para el almuerzo. And of course, we could drop our subject completely and just say como. All right, this one. Sonia y Ivan, and then our infinitive, bailar. This means to dance. Toda la noche, all night. So we have to find our subject because they don't give us the subject pronoun, so we have to find our subject. So look for names, look for people, these kinds of things. So in this case, we have Sonia y Ivan. Y, remember, means and. So this is female name, masculine name. So she and he. So then we have to figure out what subject pronoun will take the place of those two in English, and then we can change that to Spanish, right? So Sonia y Ivan changes to they. And since there is a male in there, we have to use the masculine they, which remember is ellos. So now we have to remember. Let's look at our verb. Bailar. The ending is AR, correct? So we have to go through in our mind what are the AR conjugations of the verb. So it ends in AR, so the endings start with A. I remember that. Yo is O. And then we go through them, right? O, as, a, amos, ais, an. So we remember that ellos goes in the ellos, ellas, ustedes box, which if we had the box, it'd be this one here. So we did the o, as, a, amos, ais, an, right? So we have our stem, bail. We add our ending on. So bailan. Sonia y Iván bailan toda la noche. And again, with Spanish, we don't even need this. We could just say bailan toda la noche. All right, another verb, cantar, which means to sing. Sofía, and then whatever the conjugation of cantar, esta noche, this night or tonight. So, Sofía, what subject pronoun would take the place of that? Well, that's a female name, so it would be she. And she, remember, becomes ella. Ella. So now we know it's an AR verb, just like the one before it. So we drop the AR, that's step one always. So we have our o, as, a, amos, ais, an. Ella, this is the yo, tú, él, ella, usted. Alright, so we can stop there, right? Because that's the one that we want. So let's go through our conjugations. O, as, a. So we take our stem, C-A-N-T, add our ending a, canta. Sofía canta esta noche. And again, we can get rid of Sofía completely and just say canta esta noche. So here we would put canta esta noche. This one is an IR ending verb, right? Juan y yo, and then whatever conjugation of abrir, la puerta. Abrir means to open. We already worked through this verb before, so we should be pretty familiar with it. Juan y yo, we have to figure out which subject pronoun is going to take the place of that, so we know which ending to put here. Juan y yo. Anytime you say y, yo, that means and I, correct? So anytime you're adding yourself into a group, it becomes we automatically, and we don't know whether the person talking is female or male, so we have to assume it's male. So we would use the nosotros form. And then our verb was abrir. So step 1, drop the ending. Step 2, add your ending. Remember, with IR and ER, they're the same except for this form, correct? Now, so we have the O, S, E. Now this is where it's different. Remember the trick with ER, IR for these forms? IR starts with I. So we add that to mos, imos. Notice that the nosotros form is always MOS, and it changes. So if it's an AR ending verb, it's amos. If it's an ER ending verb, it's emos. If it's an IR ending verb, it's imos. So that's kind of an easier way to remember the nosotros form. Alright, so we have an IR ending verb. We know it's the nosotros. We're going to have the mos. We're going to have the I there because it's an IR ending. So we take our stem, ABR, and then we add the IMOS, imos. Juan y yo abrimos la puerta. Juan y yo open the door. Good. Oh, yeah, this one's the yo como. We know that one. Oh, is the verb in parentheses in the infinitive or the conjugated form? So it's going to be very important for us to realize when verbs are in the infinitive, when verbs are in the conjugated form. Sometimes we do want to say a verb in the conjugated form, like he likes to run. Since we're saying to run, it's going to stay in the infinitive, right? So it's very important to spot if it's in the infinitive and what they're trying to say. Because if it's in the infinitive, they're trying to say to do something. If it's not, they're telling you so-and-so does that. So here, yo como. So our main thing that tells us whether it's in the infinitive is the ending. If it ends in any of these three, which are the only three endings in the Spanish language for verbs, if it ends in these three, then it's in the infinitive. Does this one end in those three? No. We know that this is conjugated because we know that any verb in the yo is going to have the o ending. So this one is in the conjugated form. Marco bailar con Linda. Is this in the infinitive or conjugated form? Right, it's in the infinitive because it ends in AR. Sofía venir a las 8 de la noche. Is this in the infinitive or the conjugated form of the verb venir? Infinitive. It ends in IR, which is one of the three for our infinitive. Ellos abren los regalos por la tarde. Infinitive or conjugated form in parentheses. We know it's in the infinitive, or I'm sorry, in the conjugated, because it does not end in ER, AR, or IR. Okay, well that's the end of our final assessment for that. If you have any questions, bring them with you to class and we will go over that. Again, you can go back to any one of these lessons and review or pause, fast forward, rewind, take notes, anything like that.